The employer's voice is, of course, now tired. Welcome, South Africa, to SA Shenanigans. I believe Gerard Papenfas is now speaking on the SA's Employment Association South Africa that Ramaphosa must now resign. They are tired.
Mr. President, this message is the result of the events that unfolded over the past few days. Just to let you know, and I assume many other disenchanted South Africans, did not listen to your speech on 11 May simply because we can no longer stomach your empty words. Cast your mind back to February 2018. You assumed office and spoke of responsibility, of care, of the needs and aspirations of the people. South Africa believed you. The country had endured 8 years of Zuma, state capture, the Guptas, billions looted, institutions hollowed out. Your narrow victory at Nasrec was received to jubilation. You were called the savior of South Africa. How wrong we were. Let me be direct. Under Zuma, state capture was visible. The actors were identifiable.
Concealed state capture. Concealed state capture is a systemic form of grand corruption in which private networks secretly manipulate a government's laws, policies, and institutions for private gain. Instead of openly breaking laws, corrupt elites quietly repurpose state machinery to extract public resources while presenting their actions as legitimate political or economic reforms. Unlike traditional corruption, which often involves direct bribery or illegal favors, concealed state capture works by rewriting or subverting the rules of governance from within. It operates through secrecy, hidden networks, shell companies, non-transparent advisory structures. Key characteristics. 1. Strategy of secrecy. Concealed state capture operates in the shadows. Rather than using force or openly overthrowing governments, powerful networks quietly build influence around state institutions while avoiding public accountability.
The mechanism was crude. Under your tenure, the rot became more sophisticated, more disguised, but no less severe. You had public goodwill, you had a mandate, you had time. You took the wrong path. Instead of leading South Africa into a brighter future, you took it further into the abyss. You allowed captured institutions to limp along. You appointed commissions, received damning reports, and did nothing of consequence. And all of this was due to your unwillingness to bring to book those who were involved in blatant corruption and self-enrichment. Not only did you fail to stop the rot under your tenure, but you enabled the acceleration thereof. The result is visible to every South African every day. Uncontrolled crime and corruption, unemployment above 40%, failing municipalities, economically destructive legislation piling up year after year. In every area that matters for economic life, we are worse off than 8 years ago. That is a fact. I do not raise these issues as a political commentator. I raise them because institutional failure has a direct cost and a name. That name is a failing economy, a struggling business, and an unemployed South African. You will be remembered as the president under whose guardianship this country became structurally and functionally rotten to the core. A grand legacy indeed. And now, Phala. You may use the legal process to delay the consequences. You may weaponize the doomsday scenario. You may manage the political fallout inside the ANC. But you cannot manage public opinion indefinitely. There are too many unanswered questions, and every day those questions go unanswered, more people draw their own conclusions. In the meantime, under your watch, the decay will continue. The only question now is what comes next. And given the downward trajectory since 1994, that is a frightening question. I'm Gerald Papenfuss, and this is the Employer's Voice.